What's going on, everybody? I'm with Scott, and he's got Cabana van. We're gonna tour this thing. Not only does he have this van, but he's got one, I think 2, 3, I don't know, you got a whole bunch. How many you got? 35. 35 vans. We're gonna get to know why he has 35 vans, what he's doing, what Cabana is. We're gonna find all this out right now. I'm so excited because I literally drove to Seattle just to meet this man. Right here, guys. This is the man.
Thank you.
All right, let's get going. What's up, bud?
Not much.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing great, thanks. Honestly, I am thoroughly impressed with what you have done with this whole van company. You are now a van lifer, I guess.
Yeah.
You're not full-time, obviously, in a van,
Yeah.
but you started this remarkable company, which is why I drove here, called Cabana Van. Kind of talk to me about what the heck went through your mind. Where did this start from? What'd you do here?
Yeah, I mean, the start of it is actually like, I think many great things, which is over a bottle or two of wine. I was working for Lime, the scooter company, and I was leading our government relations team. I basically spent 54 consecutive weeks on the road.
Wow.
Put 600,000 miles on my Alaska account.
600,000.
Correct, in a year.
In a year.
So have you seen that movie Up in the Air from like the early aughts?
I did, yeah. George Clooney.
That was my life. I mean, not laying people off, but traveling.
Traveling around,
Yeah.
And we're talking worldwide. We're not talking just the country.
Right, yeah, so I was actually on a trip to Sydney, Australia, and my travel style is, I'm a seat of the pants kind of person, so I land, hop online, book my hotel as I land, right?
Okay.
And so I'm in Sydney, Australia for a day, and then I'm next day in Canberra, next day in Melbourne, next day in Auckland, New Zealand. Never been to any of those cities before. I'm there for like one or two meetings in each city, and then it's like the rest of the day free. Go to Sydney, book my hotel, meet up with a friend I hadn't seen in 10 years that lived in Sydney. And we wound up going out to his place for dinner, which is like near Bondi Beach. Wind up having dinner on the beach, like a nice restaurant, walk back to his house. We're sitting around the dinner table having a bottle of wine, really early flight. And I said, oh my God, I wish my hotel were right outside your house. And that led to the second bottle of wine as we riffed on what that would look like. I totally forgot about it.
Like you didn't even know the conversation happened.
I will tell you, so I forgot about it, because this is like 2 bottles of wine. Go back to Lime. I had been traveling a bunch. I have a young kid, and I just needed to stop. So I left, just thinking about what I wanted to do next. And I, had this idea that was percolating in my head, and I didn't even know where it came from, right? And it was Cabana. And it was like, what if you could put a hotel on wheels? So I kind of worked on it in secret from my wife, because she was tired of startup life. Eventually, she could tell that I was like, it was the only thing that was animating me. So she said, okay, like go ahead and do it. So fast forward like November, December, January of the following year. So like late 19, early 20. The friend from Australia comes to the States for a visit. It's like, I can't believe that like that conversation around my dinner table, you like did it. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
So wait a minute.
I truly forgot the entire conversation. So I've always loved travel. Like my favorite travel experiences are the ones where it's just like buy a return ticket and figure out everything on the fly. So I would say like 15 years ago was like my favorite. I bought a return ticket to Beijing. Basically overlanded without, so like buses, trains, jitneys, like across Mongolia.
You figured it out.
I just like figured it out on the fly, right?
Get out of town.
Yeah, that's like my favorite way to travel. It's the only time I'm like actually in the moment and present. Like I want to bring that kind of joy of travel to just everyone, right? Whether you're comfortable doing that or not, we want you to be able to have like a true adventure, but also feel like everything is absolutely taken care of.
So if you could sum up what Cabana, the company, is in 2 sentences, what would you say it does? Like, what does it provide for us?
What we are now
Yeah.
is we are a boutique hotel meets van life.
Oh, I love that. Oh,
Right?
is that on your website?
Yeah,
Okay.
what we will be.
Okay.
I guess what we are now is just like an end-to-end travel experience where imagine your van life experience was you come to Cabana.life, fill out like a quick 2-minute questionnaire, and we plan everything for you, and all you have to do is hit book, and you have like a 5-day trip planned, everywhere you want to go, all of your overnight stays booked, van booked. You get in, you don't have to touch anything, you don't have to figure anything out, everything just works.
Yep.
Right? And when you're done, you take it back to us, didn't have to empty out any tanks. You didn't have to fill any tanks. We take care of everything for you. I mean, that's kind of actually where we are right now.
You're almost there. I was about to say, you're pretty darn close.
We're there right now in the sense that, like, we'll do all that trip planning for you. It's just not automated yet. We'll send you an itinerary. We're getting really close to hitting the button where you can start. We'll book it for you. And we have the app.
And you have the app.
Yeah.
So you're going to be able to get it to a point, off camera about this, but you're going to get it to a point where you're literally going to be able to book everything through the app, which I think you could technically do now.
Yeah. Right now we ask you to book, like, you book online, book on our website, and then when your trip before your trip starts, you download the app, and that's like basically your key.
That's how I did it. By the way, for people that haven't watched it, or the people that haven't seen it yet, I am doing a vlog of me actually staying in one of your vans for 2 nights in the Seattle area, and soon to be LA. I'm gonna go down there.
We are in LA.
Yeah, I know, but I'm gonna personally go down there.
Gotcha.
So that was gonna lead me to my next question. You are in 2 cities right now, Seattle and LA.
Yep.
We're in March of 2021.
Yep.
When or are you going to other cities?
Yes.
Okay,
So,
you just can't tell me which ones.
I can't tell you which ones. Nothing has been signed on dotted lines yet.
Okay,
But
fair enough.
Late 2021, fall of 2021, we'll be in 6 to 7 new cities.
New cities on top of the 2 you already have. Me personally, I see this in like 20 cities that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
That's on the low end.
Yeah.
You started literally renting your Cabana vans out. You told me, can I say this? In your house, pretty much.
Yeah.
And crazy story. This is like, we're talking like Steve Jobs type stuff, you know, like amazing, you know, just starting like Amazon. Jeff Bezos started in the garage.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm so just infatuated with, you know, entrepreneurs like yourself.
Yeah.
You now have a facility, you have multiple facilities, and you have employees, a lot of them. You're employing a bunch of people.
Yeah, like
good for you.
15 of them. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. And all your employees are phenomenal.
Thank you.
One of your employees, the one that my contact, was telling me that you forced them to go on vacations
Yes.
in your vans.
In our vans. I also force them to go on vacations not in our vans.
I get you.
I will like, I think with any startup, it's like the people that are really drawn to it, like, work their butts off.
They
right?
do, man.
And you can just see when they need time off.
There's not many cool bosses out there, and you're a cool one.
Well, I've worked for people, so.
All right. No, all right. Well, do you take time off?
No.
I have a funny feeling I knew that answer. Yes. You don't. Now, I am sitting right now in your swivel.
Yeah.
So your front seat does swivel, not your passenger seat, I should say.
Correct.
Your driver's seat does not.
Correct.
And that's because of all this mamma jamma right here.
Exactly.
So kind of walk me through, if you are so kind. We're going to switch sides if that's okay.
Okay. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I would like for you to show me what's going on.
Yeah, for sure. When you're designing a hotel room on wheels, you know, you kind of start with like a list of basically everything you're going to find in a hotel. And you have to like put yourself in the mind of a traveler. I mean, you asked the question of like kind of how we got started. The first van that we bought, we just found off on Craigslist and bought it. Started renting it to people and talking to them about like how they were using it.
So these are like your beta testers.
Yeah, you know, you just like start renting it out. It's like, oh, where'd you put your luggage? Oh, well, we didn't put it anywhere. There wasn't really anywhere that fit it, right? And so we said, oh, well, hadn't thought of that. Okay, we need to like figure out a place to put luggage. So what we have is, you know, a carry-on. So this is like perfectly sized for a carry-on.
Legitimately can fit.
Yeah, no, it's like the actual, so I went on like the FAA website and I was like, okay, what is the dimensions of a carry-on? Like, what's the maximum dimensions?
Yeah.
Okay, we need 2 of those.
That's so smart.
I live out of my suitcase and my wife lives out of a drawer.
Okay.
Right? And so you need access to your clothing inside. And so we decided, well, instead of building drawers or cabinets, let's build little sliders that you can put a suitcase on. And then, you know, you got to figure out like, okay, so we live in Seattle. People have to wear coats. Like sometimes they're going to wear like winter coats, snow coats, raincoats, whatever. So we got to figure out a place. Well, the other thing is like if you're a hotel, like sometimes you're going to be, maybe you're doing like a business trip.
Sure.
Where you're coming to like LA to do like a work meeting, and then you want to get out to Joshua Tree and do some climbing. So you gotta have like a place to put your work clothes or your, you know, your coats. And so what we did was we designed basically a wardrobe for all your hanging clothes.
Well, not just a wardrobe. Yeah, continue, because it's not just a wardrobe.
Yeah, and so like every hotel has to have a safe. Right?
It's actually really smart.
So we actually have a safe in there. We find some interesting things in there.
Like people leave stuff in safes?
Somebody actually left a firearm.
Oh boy.
In the safe. So like people are actually using the safes. There's a view here in Seattle where you get like the whole skyline.
Oh, it's absolutely stunning.
It's Kerry Park, right? And if you want to, there's no hotels there. And if you're in a house, it's a $5 to $6 million house. It's a city park, so you can just park and sleep there, right? And you get like a $5 million view. If we want people to do that, and we want to, you know, sort of like open up stealth camping, like a more mainstream activity, we gotta like kind of like really make the hotel vibe super apparent. Can we make it more hotel-like? Yes. Okay, let's do that.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how we came up with, you know, the wardrobe here.
And we can switch back because I know you're about to get to the next thing. And by the way, I do want to mention you are a tall human.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say, what vans are we in?
We are in a Ford Transit.
Thank you.
And we chose that because basically...
Because you're tall.
Yeah, so I'm tall. I can fit in here without ducking and without going balder, right? I don't get any abrasions.
I'm with you, buddy. How tall are you, Scott?
6'4".
Okay, so you fit in here very easily.
So this is our bathroom, right?
Oh my God, I didn't even take a full look at this.
Yeah, so when we were designing this, like, we started with the bathroom.
Okay.
Right? Like, if you're gonna sell people on a hotel on wheels, right? It all starts and ends with the bathroom. And it's gotta feel like something that you would find in a hotel, not something that you would find in an RV. Like, step one is we had to make sure it was nice and big. And so when we were building it, like, before we even built it, we basically, like, we were in a WeWork. We got masking tape from a Walgreens, and we, like, have you ever seen Ray, the founder, the Ray Kroc story? Like, where they, like...
I love Founder, yeah.
Yeah, they, like, lay out the McDonald's.
Oh, the McDonald's, yeah.
So we basically did that with a bathroom, and I, like, measured it out, and I was like, okay, like, masking tape on the floor, and then we had, like, one of those little whiteboards on wheels, and we, like, pull it in, and then put a chair in there, and I, like, simulate going to the bathroom, like... and wiping and making sure I'm not hitting my elbows on the walls.
Jeez, you went to those extremes, yeah.
We went very extreme. And that was kind of like how we started designing the bathroom. And then we selected this like solid surface Corian.
Okay.
So it's like a very kind of nice tactile feel to it versus like a fiberglass. Everything was about like, okay, well, how do we make this as nice as possible? And then you'll see like, we got a bamboo shower pan, right?
Yeah, but you have a lot of bamboo touches, by the way. I love that. Yeah,
and so like, it's interesting, right? Like, how did that get started? Which was, so we're like in this shower pan, we're like, okay, well, people are gonna be like sleeping and showering. It's not always gonna be perfectly level. So, you know, if you're in a hotel, you don't stand in water when you're showering, it drains, right? So like, how do we get people out of the water? So the builder we were working with was like, well, how about we just put a shower pan in there and like put it in, like the first one was teak, and then we wanted to go with something a little more sustainable. Yeah. That's how we wound up with bamboo. So now it like elevates you out of the water.
Yeah.
But like, you're standing on a natural material, so it feels like kind of like a spa.
Yes.
We know we're gonna have 2 people. We want people to go 4 or 5 days without like worrying about stuff. So we had to figure out how to make the shower super low flow, but still like enough water pressure that you can actually clean your hair.
Do you know what gallon per minute that is?
I think we're at like 0.75.
That's great. Because I think the standard is what, 1.5 or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that brings me to my next point is we have 2 people. You said lasting 5 maybe days, give or take. How many gallons of water do you have?
So we have 45 gallons of fresh water.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. And then we have, I think, 43 gallons of gray water storage because we have enough pipes that it takes up the other 2 gallons.
You are trying to make this where you can have the van life experience without going through the trials and tribulations of a van life experience.
Exactly.
When I take this out, will I have to worry about filling up my water tanks?
Nope. You should, everything should be taken care of. Really, the idea is like, I want to be able to have like, we want you to be able to have like a luxury bed at the end of a trail. Okay. Right? So it's like, you've gone hiking, you've done this, you know, amazing hike, and now you're exhausted. Bed should be like super comfortable. You should be able to take a hot shower and not, you know, like a military shower. You should be able to leave the water on, relax a little bit, right?
I lived in a van for 3 years. You know how many military showers I freaking did?
Many. The version that you're in now has a cassette toilet. Our new versions that we have in LA and also some here in Seattle have a black water tank.
Okay.
And that was so that we could go, you know, that we could like get from 3 or 4 days without having to change the cassette to like 5-6 days without having to empty the tank, right? So everything is about increasing the number of days that you can familiar and comfortable as we can, like step by step by step.
So as somebody as myself that's very familiar with van life, I could probably stretch this to about 7 days, 8 days without needing to come back.
Correct.
Okay, that's fantastic, by the way. Somebody that's non-familiar, you're looking at about 5?
Yeah, 4 or 5.
That's pretty
honestly,
damn good.
And like my design goal is 14. So
Okay, 14 days off grid completely.
that is the design goal. We can't do it now, but I think we're probably, I would say, a year away from being able to do that.
I'm gonna guess shorter, but I'm gonna be optimistic here. Not that you're not. I just think that you're gonna get there a lot faster.
Okay. I mean, I think so too. It's just a matter of like getting money to prototype. I mean,
Okay.
we've got the ideas. Now it's just like executing. right?
Execution. Before we go to the rest of your design and build here, you have this service, I believe, for Cabana that if you're unfamiliar with parking and things like that,
Yep.
what can I?
So basically when you rent from us, as you're going through the booking flow, it'll take you to add-on screens, and you can add Cabana Concierge.
Okay.
And basically, we plan your trip for you. So you go in and you say, oh, I'm going for like 4 days. I'm in LA. I want to get out to like Sequoia. I'm not sure where to stay. I'd also like to see some other thing, and we'll just basically plan a whole trip for you. Where to like grab food.
You have everything.
Yeah, if you have a pet, we'll like plan a dog-friendly trip for you.
So your vans are dog friendly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, there is a pet deposit, right? Because, we've got to like really make it clean.
You know what? Just like a hotel.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like a hotel. So there's nothing wrong with that, and people with pets understand that, I think.
Yep.
If you were to give your van a star rating, what would it be? As in, like, because hotels have star ratings.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is like, I used to work for politicians.
Okay.
And you always like, there's the question the reporter always asks, like, what grade would you give yourself?
Oh no! Was I that guy?
No. So the answer is incomplete.
Oh, interesting.
Because we're not done yet. We want customers to give us a 5-star, but like for ourselves, like it's, we're never going to be complete.
You know what, Scott?
right?
I actually love that answer. I like that mentality you have.
Yeah.
How's that? And when you do get a bad grade or you get a bad review, you guys probably look into it and say, okay, how can we make this better?
We call you. Like if you give us a bad grade, we'll call you.
And say, what happened?
What happened?
Right.
How can we make it better?
Right.
Right.
And that's what a true entrepreneur should be doing.
Because I think
Absolutely.
you learn more from failure than you do success.
I couldn't agree more with you.
Yeah.
What are you leaning on?
I am leaning on the bathroom sink.
Okay.
So we have a little sink in here. Let me turn on the water pump.
You're wasting my water, man. I'm just kidding. I'm just giving
We're
you
not
something.
using it. And then here, basically, this is your sink. And
Yep.
then in here, because you want to sit down and socialize. Let me get out here real quick. You want to sit down and socialize, right? So you have a little seat here that you can sit on. Every hotel needs a trash can, and so in here we have a little drawer that comes out.
And some
underneath
extra
the seat.
TP.
Yep, that gives you all of your stuff that you need. So you and I can sit across from one another. Let me reach behind you.
I'm gonna grab this table if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, not at all.
There is a table that I just slid out from right here, guys, and you even built, or you had your builder build a little slot there for that table to fit
exactly. So it doesn't bounce around. So now it goes on like this, and then we can sit
right across.
here.
We can have lunch, dinner, doesn't matter.
We have a little fridge in here. We stock with water.
Just like a hotel would, thank you.
More little drawers in here for you. Come in here.
Oh yeah, look at that.
K-Pod coffee maker. Is it in a hotel room? If so, then it's got to be here. There are two things.
shit.
There are two things that you will find in a hotel room that you will not find in here.
Which are?
So an iron and an ironing board.
Okay.
We don't have those yet, but they're like pretty easy to figure out where to put.
How about a
right in
steamer?
here.
Would you put a steamer?
Yeah.
Steamer's better than an iron board, I feel.
Yeah, I would agree. And like a Bible. I don't know if they put Bibles in hotel rooms.
I don't know if they do that anymore.
That's
That's a
like
great
50s
question.
thing. So
Okay.
it's not like a 1950s hotel. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But
No, nothing's wrong. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Before we go to the bed setup, let me ask you this: Are you staying with this layout? Are you gonna maybe go more further? Like,
Yeah,
we just
so-
talked about things you'd add. So.
Yeah, so I think we are going to be working real hard to develop a 4-passenger van.
Okay, I didn't think you were gonna tell me that.
Yeah, so that's right now they're all like SketchUps and things like
Okay.
that, and so we'll be prototyping it this summer. But so 4-passenger van, I think will be
You families,
yeah,
because right now it's like couples.
couples, right?
Now
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
talking family. Now you're talking friends.
Exactly.
Now you're talking
well,
families.
close friends.
Very close, because we're
Yeah.
van life guys.
Yeah.
Wow, that would be interesting, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay, so go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I think like what's on the radar, like I think we have a pretty sweet bed setup right now. It's an 8-inch memory foam mattress. Queen size is a short queen. What we want to get to is basically a full queen, or the full queen equivalent, which is 80 inches. So like, how do you get 80 inches? Like, that's kind of the secret stuff that we got to figure out how to do. But we've got a pretty straightforward path to getting there. We want to build in some electric air conditioning back here so that you can have like climate control when you're sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
Now we have cellular Wi-Fi. The first van I rented, I actually wound up a year and a half later hiring the guy that built it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's our head of product. Yeah, it was like total coincidence, but I basically rented his van
Okay.
for one night, went and parked right outside like Cal Anderson Park. Nightlife area, so I like did it Thursday night. If we can stealth camp like in a nightlife area on a nightlife night, right, we can make this work.
And you also have the TV, just like a hotel would.
We have a TV, Amazon Fire Stick in there. We have artwork above the bed, just like you would find in a hotel. That's actually a Polish artist who like came to my wedding in Seattle, and so
No
she,
way.
like, drew us a nice Seattle Pacific Northwest theme.
What's your electrical system? How many batteries? What's your
2 batteries, 200 amp hours of lithium ion, and then 200 watts of solar on top.
Which is enough to get everybody by, especially because the solar just recharges it.
Yep.
Well, you know, Scott, what's interesting is I saw the bathroom. You have a great bed setup. I even got a TV. I've got a little area to eat. Luggage storage. Where's my kitchen, bro?
So your kitchen is actually out in the back in the gear garage.
Do you want to show me this
I
bad
do.
boy? Let's go.
So yeah, so here's the kitchen. It basically comes out on a 60-inch slider.
60 inches?
Yep, so right there.
Hey, I just built one of those, kind of. But you did it better.
Well, I don't know. I think he was a pretty experienced guy. So we got like a Dometic stove here, a little 2-burner Dometic stove. Nice little sink. Under here you have all the stuff that you need.
Oh, the
right?
propanes. Yeah.
So you got propane in there. We got little quick connect hose, right?
So that's for the water. Okay.
So you hook it into here, and then you hook it into here,
Oh, boom.
and you're hooked up to the water tank in the van, and everything works.
There you go. And there's your 45 gallons for that.
45
plus your
gallons of cooking. You got a couple 1 pound propane tanks, and then in here, and in here.
Oh, you have cooking utensils. So wait a minute, you don't even have to like bring your own stuff. You have it all here for us.
Correct. Yeah, so it's like plates, cooking supplies, things like that. You'll probably want your own like spices and things like that.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
yeah.
Trader Joe's is around the corner.
Exactly. And then when you're done, you slide it back in.
That's super nifty.
Thank you.
I mean, from somebody that does stay in hotels every now and again, I mean, we eat out most of the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you rent this for a couple nights, you eat out. I mean, but if you want to, you can cook.
Yeah, exactly. And so when I think about it, it's like tailgating, right? Like,
Yes.
if I'm actually out and it's like a nice summer night, do I actually want to be sitting in there? No, I'm in like when I go to a hotel, basically I just lay in bed and watch TV, or I'm out, right, in the city.
Yes.
Or if I'm camping, I go into my tent when I'm sleeping, but I want to be outside the rest of the time.
Man, you're best of both worlds. I actually, if we could, we'd go back inside to get away from the noise to kind of finish this off.
Sure.
So thanks for actually saying that outside, because I feel like Cabana, or Cabana Life. Cabana.
Yep.
Cabana is really the best of both worlds for the van lifers. It's the ones that want to stay in the city and need it. For myself, like maybe a traveling comedian or a musician or a business entrepreneur, meeting after meeting after meeting, or you want to take, your significant other or a friend and go to the middle of the woods and camp.
Yeah.
Why not?
So I'll tell you, like the first trip that I took in a Cabana van, we have investors.
Sure.
So they hadn't seen it, and I wanted to take it to them. So I drove it down to the Bay Area. 12-hour drive, right? So I got tired. So I pulled over on the side of the road. Took like a 2-3 hour nap. Because like,
You can't do that.
because you can do that, and it's comfortable. I got there later than I had originally intended.
That happens.
So that happened. So I parked on the street, like right in front of the office of where my meeting was the next morning. Showered, right? Did that.
Wow.
Did all my meetings downtown. Was meeting a friend in the outer Sunset for dinner. So like drove out to Davis Beach, like worked on Wi-Fi for a while, then drove to his place, slept right on Ocean Drive there, Next morning, drove into, the city, like, for meetings. Met friends in the Haight that night for beer. Wound up having too much beer. It's like your least favorite Uber ride is that one where it's like 30 minutes to get home and you're just like, I've had too much. And I just want to be home. I want to be at my hotel. And I want to be asleep.
One of the best parts of van life right there.
And so I just like walk back to the van. Friends come with me, show them the van, give them a tour. It's like a couple Lime alum that I worked with.
Yep.
And we wound up like just chilling in the van for an hour, chatting. Walked home and I fell asleep. And it was like a block and a half from the place we met. And then like the next morning I drive like into Soma for my meetings and I'm done.
Wow.
And that was it, right? And so it's like I stayed in 3 different places in the city. Got to end my night exactly where and when I wanted. So no like Uber trips or anything like that late at night where I'm like just wanting time travel, right? So I can get to my hotel and then I'm done.
Do you have a mileage?
We do not.
So I can take this. I'm in Seattle right now. I could drive down a coast. I could take this down Route 1.
Yeah. Yep.
And have an epic time for a week.
Right.
How about this? You have a space in LA. Am I allowed to drop this off in LA?
We do offer one-way trips on a kind of like an ad hoc basis. Like if you want to take a one-way trip, reach out to us.
Okay.
As we start to scale the business and get more and more locations,
That'd be cool.
We will be able to do one-way trips.
That would be cool. Like you did mention earlier in the video, you're looking at 6 or 7 more by the end of the year.
Yep.
So you're talking maybe by then, I can pick up in Seattle. I can drive it to wherever I don't know where they're going to be, guys.
Portland,
I'm just saying. I was about to say Park City.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're going to have it there. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Denver.
Basically, eventually, everywhere you would want to go, we will have a Cabana. Eventually.
Ooh, I like that style right there. I've already plastered this, but where can we find you, Scott? Where can we find your company?
Go to cabana.life.
Cabana.life. There is no .com. There is no other thing. Just cabana.life. And you're on the Instagram.
At Cabana Vans.
And do you have a YouTube channel?
We do.
Do you?
We do.
Okay.
I believe it's Cabana Vans.
I can't believe
But you're gonna have to talk to Emma about like the actual.
All right. Vans.
Like, I can only keep so much stuff in my head, and it all happens.
I don't want to know
right.
what's in that head.
No,
of yours,
it's like
my man.
just basically all technical. Like, how do I solve this design problem?
You know what's funny is Scott. I'm about to take this van out right now because as I'm renting it, and I have a whole bunch of stuff in my Jeep, and I don't need to get anything from it. I don't have to get any of my cooking stuff.
That's awesome.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I am so happy.
Awesome.
I'm going to go catch the sunset if that's okay with you.
Do it.
Thank you, Scott, for your time. I really do appreciate it, guys. Again, cabana.life. You can rent through the website right now, but you can eventually do the app.
Yep.
Okay.
I would say by early May, you should also be able to rent directly through our app.
Perfect.
Yep.
I love it. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.